Good morning, sons and daughters of the Most High. This is your brother Chukwemeka. So, children of God, it's happening. No, it's happening. As you can see, it's getting closer, and right now, it's in the motherland. This COVID fast is here now. They said the new variant that was found in South Africa. But before you can even see what are you talking about, people in London said they've already discovered it from somebody that just flew in from South Africa. You see the story? Before you know it, people in the Nordic countries started diverting flights mid-air from South Africa. They have to put in, what did the Bible say? The Bible said that the devil comes with all the flash and bangs. They don't just do things and quietly announce it. No, they come with all the flash and balls of to put in fear. Again, remember, this is the manufacturing of fear. And for those of you who have been keen enough to notice, have you noticed the cycle? First of all, the cycle of new variant comes out. The next thing you see, there's more lockdown threatened. They will threaten, we're going to lock down, we're going to shut down. The next thing, new restrictions. They won't lock down, of course, but they will do new restrictions. You cannot go and pee without a vaccine card. You cannot go and wee. You cannot go and do this. And then the next thing, more people will take the vaccination. And then new variant comes again. They will threaten more lockdown. They will put more restriction, more vaccination. It's the same cycle. It doesn't take an astrophysicist to notice that. It's the same cycle. Sometime around July of this year, we heard of the Mu variant. Mu. They kept on. No, sorry, we heard of the Delta variant. Delta. Hey, Delta. What didn't they say about Delta? In fact, they stopped calling it COVID. They just started calling it Delta variant. It's a deadly variant. It will kill. Even if you so much as look at it, it will kill you. What happened? Children of God, what happened to the Delta variant? I don't know. Then there's the Mu variant. Hey, Mu variant, it will turn you to Mumu, before it kills you. That is very deadly. Scientists have discovered it. Who are these scientists discovering this? Children of God, do you know that this lady in CDC, whatever her stupid name is, she was asked if there is a way to differentiate between the Delta variant and other variants of COVID. And she said no. That was her answer. No. So anybody that tells you is this variant or that variant, they don't know what they're talking about. There is no way to differentiate anything. God. I wonder where the God who created us is. And I wonder what kind of witchcraft has been unleashed on humanity to make us accept whatever bull crap that these people can conjure up from their asses. There is no kind of nonsense that people won't take. My neighbor yesterday was fretting all over. The children were not allowed to even step out in front of their homes because of the Omicron variant. I was like, this thing has not been isolated in Nigeria. And he's like, you can get here. I just looked at this man and said, I beg. I told my kids not to ever go near you. So these are dangerous people. There's a story of somebody in the United States who murdered his entire family because he doesn't want COVID to catch them. He killed his entire family. These are the kind of creatures that we have around. And if you notice that your neighbor is somebody like that, you better stay away from those kind of people. Most people are more deadly than the so-called disease. Long before this COVID thing even got started, we were told, was it the Prime Minister, one of the officials in Australia, which is a prison planet now anyway, one of the officials said that this thing will be so The variants of this thing will come out so much that it will overwhelm the Greek alphabet. And look at it now. A whole lot of alpha variant, delta variant, mu variant, nu variant, covariant. Now it's Omicron. They come out every 6 months. They're out. What kind of disease has a timetable for changing, for morphing? Since when does pathogens morph that fast without human intervention? Even with human intervention, the stability for something to morph into a new variant and become stable in nature, it takes an enormous amount of time. The probability of that happening is sometimes I wonder if the books we read when we were going to school is still valid because right now the kind of things that people say they write in one publication I saw, the United Nations was like, it will take about 2 to 3 weeks for them to actually know how infectious this new variant is. Really? So we don't even know whether the variant is stable or not in nature. We have no idea. But it's not about the variant. What is going on is not about the variant. What is going on is that cycle. It's in South Africa now. Next time it will be in West Africa because that's the land of Ebola. That's the land that they have actually played that trick on us with Ebola when they were burying empty caskets, trying to deceive us. The same thing happened with this COVID in Uganda. They were caught burying empty caskets just to give the impression that people are dying. When I looked at the Ebola thing in Liberia, I was like, these people are kidding me. African, we don't bury people like this. We don't bury people like this. That's the same thing they said about India. They went to the crematoriums and they're burning people. That's what they do in India. That is what they do. They don't bury people, they burn them. Do you know how many people that died of natural causes every day in India? Do you know the population of India? But they just showed people dropping down on the street, which is not a sign of COVID anywhere. But that effect is enough to create the impact they want. And now they are doing it to Africa. And I don't see any resistance. Every government is ramping up campaign upon campaign upon campaign. And for those of you who have taken the jab, you've not started because this variant upon variant is to ensure you keep taking it. Look at what they say. They say after convening a group of experts to assess the data, the UN Health Agency said that preliminary evidence suggests an increased risk of reinfection with this variant. What nonsense is this? They have always been reinfection. Those who actually go to take these jabs end up having the look. Okay, let me give you an example. Children of the Most High, right? I was in the hospital recently because I was down with bronchitis, and they did test for COVID 3 times on me. 3 times. There was another man that I know. I used to work with these people before. There was another man I know. He is a proponent of the vaccine. In fact, I think he goes around with bell ringing and talking about this disease is going to kill us. When the man saw me, the man couldn't come close to me because he had to wave at me so that I don't give him COVID. He has taken the vaccine. Oh, he and his family have taken the vaccine. They did COVID tests for both of us, and he's the one with COVID. Nothing. No, they did 3 times on me. 3 times. I'm not kidding. Nothing. They didn't say anything. Their so-called tests, which I don't trust. I was just looking at them and said, I beg, look, you guys should hurry up. I have things to do. Nothing on me. This man was the one with COVID. They bundled him to quarantine. Anyway, who cares what people like that think? There has been always reinfection. What do you mean that there's a preliminary evidence that suggests a risk of reinfection? What nonsense is that? Who are you talking to? Children of God. I know that sometimes it feels like screaming in an empty room. I know that it feels like talking to a brick wall because our people in Nigeria don't want to have this conversation. People would rather talk about how Davido raised how many 100 million for his birthday that has not even come. People would rather talk about how Obi Kubana has messages and he wrote his name in the messages. As if I cannot take a Sharpie and write my name in the car, but whatever. It's amazing how we have a jackal that has his teeth out and his eyes straight for us, and we're all dancing to TikTok videos. In South Africa, they don't really care. I mean, which is the reality. This disease you're saying actually doesn't really exist. You know, not only in South Africa, in the entire Southern Africa. If you go to there now, they're all busy dancing to one TikTok song or the other. But the system is being rolled in and put in place. For those of you who have extra seconds of your life, look at what is happening in Australia. And they're putting restriction upon restriction, mostly in the eastern part of Australia. The other, which is where the indigenous people live. In the other part of Australia, the Europeans are watching their football. And I'm not saying that they're being selective about it. They're also oppressing a lot of people. But you have no idea what's happening to the indigenous people of Australia. They're being rounded up to COVID camps. What happens to them in the camp? Who knows? It's been interesting to see their population a few years from now. That's what's going on in Australia. If you're waiting for CNN to give you confirmation, keep waiting. If you're waiting for Fox News to tell you, oh, after all, I mean, Tucker Carlson talks about it, keep waiting, they will tell you. And that's exactly what this will plan for Africa. I remember between 2017 and 2019, long before any of you heard of COVID, they have been screaming that there must be population control, population reduction in third world countries. This bald-headed monster, who happens to be the first son of Diana, whatever his name is it Williams? Who cares, whatever his demonic name is, came out and started screaming that we need to reduce the population in Africa. I did a video about that. This is a guy who got married in 2012 and had 5 kids already. But he's screaming that how many people got married in Africa in 2012 and already have 5 kids? But he's not talking about reducing his own population, but that of Africa. We see this every day. These people are already gunning for us. And we have been complacent. We've just taking it like, oh, nothing will happen. I hope nothing happens, honestly. I worry something happens. They're putting the structures in place. And that's where the problem is. So, they have been talking about population reduction in Africa. And now with this Omicron variant, it will stay for a while. I mean, Delta variant came out in July and now it has fizzled out. The new variant, they all fizzled out. But this Omicron will stay for a while. And they will use it to squeeze Africa. African politicians are at the worst level now. The worst level. None of them can even stand up in front of this people and mention his name. What did the Bible say, children? The Bible said those who try to protect their life will lose it. Those who try to lose their life for my sake will keep it. Remember that. I'm pretty sure this video will be taken down. I don't know, but hopefully it won't. Let's be careful. Let's not rest on our oars. What is happening is serious. They are serious as a heart attack. If we can find a way to disengage from this system, it will work best. May the God of our people protect our people in our land. Salam.